All right. I think we're live. I'm checking to see if we're live. I don't know. Doesn't look like we're live yet.
I'm showing 12 seconds in, 13, 14.
I know, but I'm looking at the I'm like pulled up the YouTube on a different channel and it looks like we're still not live.
I'm showing right now we're live.
Oh, there we go. See, we're live now. We're on a little bit of delay. See, we're not pros at this. Let's just get right to it. We suck.
Get right to it.
A Friday night wedding for Mr. Kraft, I feel, is a violation of his religious principles. Isn't that we should? I mean, I wouldn't want to get the biggest drip of all time on to discuss it. The idiot,
Adam.
Don't even.
Don't give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah,
but he could probably break it down better. I'm sure he will in extreme detail with that other idiot on their show if they ever do it again. But yes, Mike, everyone knows who it is. Don't worry.
I know. It's like saying his name, Chevin. That's fine.
Why do you like to say his name?
I don't know. He's a good guy.
Like pleasure to say his name.
Gives me pleasure to look at him. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
good looking guy.
Plastic surgery there.
Well, I mean, did you have plastic surgery?
Of course not. This is all natural, baby. 100%.
I'm so happy you said that because look what I had already had prepared. I know what you're going to say before you.
All natural, baby. You're missing a comma, but it looks good.
Whatever. It was.
Shout out to Mike Montante, friend of the show. We got to have him back on.
Good friend of the show. Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, that was a fun little shout out that I got there as I came back from the last of the Jewish holidays. But you know,
I texted you. I told you. I knew you were offline, and I said, when you get back, come on.
You know, it's funny because Kirk is right. We will talk about it, but there's not really a lot of excruciating detail to get into.
Well, that's
typically that's me,
show, Adam.
Right. I mean, typically that's me. That's what I do. But no, Kirk is right. It was a pretty egregious, I would say. I mean, listen, everyone's entitled to do whatever they want. I don't judge anyone's level of religiousness or not. But I grew up not religious, and even at the non-religious worlds, most rabbis, female or male, so I'm talking about really non-religious ones, would still not do a Sabbath wedding. So I don't know if maybe there was no rabbi. It's extra controversial, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I am actually surprised, and I know the rabbi of I just had a Timmy Canton leg spasm there. The rabbi of the synagogue that Kraft goes to and spends a lot of money at, and in beautiful Newton, Massachusetts, he absolutely would not be doing this. So I agree with Kirk. It was a little bit off of him to be able to do it. Do you care at all?
No, he's skating his lane. She's within his age range, and she's Jewish too. So muzzle tough.
Well, then you know what? Let's just move on. Let's go on to to our next topic, which is far more exciting. The guest who actually brings the asses to the seats. Everyone's here because they want to see
you
him.
And me.
So
no.
Well, they want to see you. They want to see you. They want to hear him.
Let's
bring in Bluey's dad himself. Shout out Mayo. Here is Menners.
Good evening, guys. Great to have one of the shows in the KMS universe back. Adam, it's great to see you again. Last time I think I saw you, we were embracing outside the Wilbur. You know, I got my arms around your huge belly. That's the one thing that the All Aboard show does hide. And look, I'm no athlete. But yeah, I was a bit taken aback. It took couldn't quite get the arms around. Of course, Ned.
I'm a Minifan. I'm fat. What do you want from me?
Yeah. Menners, welcome back.
Thank you, guys.
We had you on here. So
yeah, great to be with you. So many things floating around the KMS universe. I guess I'll just start off. I just want to go and just talk to some of the fans of Minifandom, and of course,
yes,
who I put out a tweet earlier today that Minifandom's taking an unscheduled 2-week hiatus, and some really lovely messages of people. But look, there's no mental issues. This is not a checking myself into a home or anything, or taking mental time. Just flat out with work. And it's probably Red's fault, because if I had a regular co-host who could just jump on with me, then I could probably do it. But, because I'm the sole host and I get on guests, I have to carry the show. I have to do everything.
I have to say, Mayo wasn't so bad. He was actually pretty good. Surprisingly good.
Mayo
Right.
was great.
Hang
There's
on,
chemistry.
a couple of quick questions here, because first of all, you know, we were going to talk about this anyway, so we're happy you're here. Also, quick shout out to the chat. No, killer, I'm not bald, so go fuck off. All right. Love you, kid. Anyway, Menners, are you implying that you didn't have to carry the show when Red was on?
It was a bit more equitable. I thought Red was great to record with. He was always prepared. He always had hot takes, always had energy. But yeah, now, you know, each week I have to sort of source a new guest, and just this week, the next 2 weeks, my time is really tight.
How long do you think you're going to be out for?
Oh, just a couple of weeks. I mean, there's a Cricket World Cup starting in Australia this weekend, so
There you go.
I'm covering a lot of games and doing a lot of stuff there. So traveling around as well. So I love Minifandom, but you know me, guys, I don't like to mail it in. Like I could probably,
Right.
you know, record a fucking show this weekend for 20 minutes and throw out a few hot takes, but that's not my style. I like to be prepared. I like to do. Timmy Canton's fucking calling me. Does he know I'm on air?
He probably does. He actually for sure does. You can answer it. Answer it.
Let's just see. Tim, hold on one sec. Hold on. I'll put you on. Hello, Tim.
I'm not waiting. No, I'm not waiting.
You're online. You're on air. What's up?
You're
Taking
live,
calls.
What's up,
Tim.
Tim?
I'm calling to interrupt you. You know, I just heard what you said about why you're taking time off. This smacks very much of the Chris Clemmer syndrome.
Why?
Uh-oh.
Why does it?
Whoa.
Why does it smack over the Chris Clemmer syndrome? If Kirk said to me, "Can you be on Zoom this Friday for the main show?" I would tell my son, "I don't care about your fucking birthday. Kirk's called me. I'm going on the main show." You know, so it's bullshit. This is a guy who fucking got out of a car because of a leg cramp.
You're taking time off to go watch cricket.
I'm actually
Clemmer take time off
No,
to go to the Celtics game.
absolutely not. That's such bullshit. I'm
You-
busy with work,
You
kids'
listen,
birthdays. Cricket's just a part of it.
Wait. Hang on. Kids' birthdays. How old are your kids? Aren't they older than that?
Than you have done Minifandom
They can't
shows
hear you.
consistently.
He can't hear you.
Tell him it's leg cramps,
Yeah.
man. You can't do it because of leg cramps.
Yeah, leg cramps. That's it. That's what Ned says. Anyway,
It's a spasm.
this is
Yeah.
all right. Well, fuck you.
God bless Charlie. I hope he's okay up in heaven eating those mice that you killed.
All right. Thanks, prick. Bye.
Suburban Tug Time recommends
Absolutely
it.
not, Chris Clemmer. I was just saying I don't want to mail it in. I want to do.
Well,
Exactly.
wait.
the last
Matter,
show was
Suburban,
almost 2 hours. I was prepared. I'd listened to every main show 3 times. So yeah. Bullshit.
Menor, Suburban Tug Time suggests that you could try recording a show 3 times, fail to do so, blame the wind, and then wait another several days and record a shitty one before showing us your really awful tattoo.
Adam, we're not going to read the comments, please.
Yeah, we are. That's why we're
We
going
don't
live.
care. No. We've got the number one guest. We get the number one recap show Minifan in the,
All right,
in the
well,
universe, and we're not going to read the
on.
comments from
All right, you trying to destroy
Suburban
the show.
Well,
Tug
fine.
Time.
Then let's.
So what did you think of Montante this week? Because I
Well-
thought that was a great performance.
Yep.
I know Adam's freaked out because it doesn't sort of hit with his run schedule. He's probably got
It's
everything
true. That
planned.
there was one
Jewish-
topic first. First,
we
we're
know
going to
what
talk about
Jewish
Snell.
accounting is like.
First, we're going to
Very,
talk about
very-
Snell. Then we're going to talk about Montante.
All right,
But
we'll start
no.
with Snell then. I don't want to fucking frazzle
Thank
your
you.
stupid
Thank
brain.
you. Jesus.
We
No,
have a
what?
plan too.
But you know, Snell. Yeah. How do you feel about him in the Miniverse matters? Let's hear it out. Let's give your hot takes.
I think he's a contributor. I like the fact that he does KMS Reloaded. I think it's good to have another wrap-up show. And it's actually, as I've said on my show, it's to listen to is better than to watch because
Okay.
you don't get all the jump cuts. It
Yes.
it sounds like a podcast.
Yep.
But
Yes.
I'm astounded that Kirk would ever entertain having that fucking freak in the studio.
Yeah.
He's the most talentless fuck to ever go in the main show studios. It's a disgrace that Kirk actually thought that it would work. Once is fine. Like, get him in there. He's a freak show. See what happens. But then the second time was even worse. And they knew how bad he was the first time. He's got nothing, Snell. All lies, not entertaining. He can't fucking talk. Like, Montante and Kirk could just talk like mates or friends or whatever you call it over there.
Yep.
It's never going to happen with Snell and Kirk. And by the way, I don't think Montante and Kirk are friends, but
No,
you know, they could
God,
have that
no.
kind of banter. Whereas Snell and Kirk are never going to get that. So those shows were awful.
Well, he got, to me, at least on the second time, he was so shticky bringing the gifts and all that. And I think that, you know, like you said, the Reloaded show is fine. I think he's someone who needs to be edited and scripted, and that he's not necessarily someone who can be off the cuff and be entertaining off the top of his head. I mean, listen, I'm no one to fucking talk, but I'm also not on the main show.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He didn't strike anything with me. I gave KMS Reloaded like about 5 minutes on the first show, and I was like, nah, it's not for me. But then when he went into the studio twice, as Menor says, nothing. I'm not interested. Absolutely not going to tune out. But it's not like, Montante, he's great. Montante's a pro. I mean, he was offered a contract that he turned down to do his own thing.
Now, Ned, we're going a bit overboard here. He's not a pro. He can't self-edit. I mean, give him a couple of.
He cannot self-edit. He's never read a book in his life.
Lights and he'll fucking go Christian Foria.
We should point out, Adam, he dropped that news here on this show that he's never read a book in his life.
Ever. Yep.
Least surprising news. One sec.
No, but Ned, I mean, I think that
somebody must be first wicket down that he had to
stop yeah, for sure. I mean, so he's not coming back. We may as well just
we're done.
No, but are you
keep talking? Someone's ringing my doorbell.
Okay. I'm going to remove you from his.
We're professionals. We're fine.
If you come back, you can go back on.
Yep.
What's your take on this whole FBI thing? That's what I really want to get into with Snell. What the fuck is going on there?
It's everyone knows that if you mess with someone's mailbox, it's a federal crime because you're involving the post office. So that's an easy one to drop. No, I think it's bullshit. I don't know. I don't think he called the FBI. Yeah, but going back to Montante though.
Wait, I want to hear Menor
because Kirk's not friends, but they have a real good banter, and Dave fits in perfectly. I'd easily welcome Montante. He couldn't do it though. He can't do it because he lives in New Jersey.
But
he'd easily sit that third chair.
Let's get to that in a second. I first want to hear because Menor's. I just asked Ned this, and I want to get your take on this also. The FBI shit, right? Damn fucking straight. The FBI shit, right? Like you, by the way, are someone who I actually think was like borderline fucked with by a lot of Minifans in really real ways when it came to the reviews of your store and shit like that. All of it online.
2 good eggs.
If someone was in Australia, maybe it wouldn't have all been online. I don't know. But what's your take on this whole FBI thing? Do you think it's bullshit? Do you think it was just all online stuff? Like what are your thoughts?
It is 1000% bullshit. Yeah, exactly. I've never heard more lies in my life. And fucking Cullinane. Can you hear that?
Yeah,
that was weird.
So could our 5,000 viewers. Yes.
There's an alarm going off. Anyway, I'll battle through. Well, this happened on the main show. Remember?
Yeah.
History repeating itself. Yeah. So I cannot believe Kirk, who spent his whole life questioning the globe, just sat there like a fucking gullible idiot, just nodding his head.
Oh, great.
I mean, I wouldn't say gullible idiot.
Way to go.
That's going to be fun for us.
Like a gullible idiot.
Yes.
That's going to be fun for us. So, let's move on to Montante. I like Montante. I think that does a good job of taking shit, giving it back.
Yep.
He's came with a good audio clip. He clearly came with talking points, like not overwhelming, knows his place, knows when to shut up. But
kids say the darndest things was a terrific talking point.
Wild.
What a
caught
topic.
Me by surprise.
I mean, that was wild. His take on the Jerry job thing was just dumb. Like it literally made zero sense. But I don't think he'd work out as a full-time third chair. I think that it's better as a one-off every month. Ned thinks he would. I think that he's a once in a while, not an every week third chair type of.
Why, Adam?
Because I think at a certain point you're going to get to your limit of what you're going to get out of Montante. He's very single-minded. I like him a lot. Smart guy, not smart guy, nice guy, friendly guy. I like him, but he doesn't have a lot up there. He doesn't have a lot of varying knowledge on varying topics. It's very focused on politics, football, gambling. Clemmer knows random shit that Kirk also likes, though. Old music, movies, shit like that they can talk about and follow along with.
Yeah. So my understanding is, Adam, as you know, I'm a a very thorough reporter when it comes to KMS matters, that
Mhm.
Montante could probably conceivably go once a month with his work schedule.
Yes.
And to me, that would
That's
work well.
That's
Agreed.
the kicker, the work schedule.
So I think that would work well. Once a month would be great. And that would mean, we don't have shows where you'd have, the bottom of the barrel like your Snells going in. So I think once a month would be good. But I think Montante actually, if he could do it, could be a regular every week in there. But you're right. He would have to start to broaden, read some of the other articles. You can say what you want about Clemmer. He was thorough in his preparation.
Yes.
He knew everything that was going on. KMS World stuff, anything that Kirk might be interested in, any shitty EEI story that Carl was going to bring up. Clemmer was, I would say, almost never caught out.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I think he was a better fit. And again, I think that Montante once a month would be awesome. I wish that would mean more of like Whitney, more of Mike 3 times a week, more of not going to the bottom of the barrel. But who knows? Maybe Kirk will listen to Dave and they'll start doing Zooms and you can come in, Manners.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be it, because I don't think Kirk is big unless you're high caliber. He's not going to be big on doing any type of Zoom or even the calls in, unless you're big cat. So I think
I should be zoomed in regularly.
Well, you could, but
why are you
you
laughing
could.
at him?
Because you
They had
can't.
Steve Snell in
How
twice
could you-
recently. How could it get any worse?
Listen,
Me on half an
that's
hour
actually
from
true.
Zoom with some hot takes about the KMS world. You telling
Yeah.
me that wouldn't light the fucking show
oh,
up?
it would be much
As a
better.
drop-
Doesn't want to
It would
do
be
in,
much
drop out.
better. I said this on this show well before you got before the Wilbur show. I said there is zero shot Kirk will ever let Menners even sniff the studio because it would make Menners too happy. And I was proven wrong.
No,
so maybe I am dead wrong about this also.
It's always about Adam. Jesus fucking Christ.
How much did you miss me,
Yes.
Ned? How much did you fucking miss me?
Well, I think there's more sadness in the Twitterverse and Miniverse over Menners taking a 2-week leave than us not being around for like 3 months. So
You mean how people didn't even notice?
didn't even notice. Right.
I've got a couple of things I want to bring up with you. Sorry to
Okay, here
jump
we
in
go.
there.
Take over.
Is the least surprising thing you've ever heard that Dave Cullinane hasn't had a one-night stand? Like, as if anyone would want to suffer through that for one night. I mean, little Dick, the personality, like, Ned, as I'm sure in your younger days, as someone who slayed many a
Oh, for sure.
anyway, I don't even want to get into it because you're a happily married man. We'll just leave
Exactly.
that.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
it's the least surprising thing I've ever heard
I don't know.
that Dave
It was
Cullinane
pretty-
is
it
not a
was pretty
one night
su-
stand.
It was pretty
game.
surprising until you
Right.
think about Dave.
I don't know, just because, like, I mean, listen, I, as you all know, grew up and live in a massive bubble. So my perception of like public school is that everyone's fucking nonstop,
go.
and
Back to
Dave is
that.
like
Here
a
we go.
somewhat good-looking guy. So I thought that, I was surprised. I could have seen him having his moments, catching a few diseases, taking some penicillin, that type of shit.
Can you imagine Dave trying to chat up a girl at a bar, like the sort of stuff that had come out of
Matters.
his
The
mouth?
three of
Like,
us are married. Can you imagine you or I fucking chatting up a girl? I mean, what the fuck are we gonna do?
absolutely.
Ned,
Ask,
fine.
ask Lauren. Ask Lauren. I did great. And then there was the Game of Thrones line that Carl threw out
Oh
there
my god,
about the product placement.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was great.
that was awful. That was so bad. I mean,
all I could
I-
think of was that drop that they used to play with Mike and Mad Dog, where it was like he tells him something, and Mad Dog's a true story.
yeah, the superhero one. I think it was like Spider-Man or Batman,
True
whatever.
story.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't watch Game of Thrones either, but I still fucking know that they're not supposed to have Starbucks in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Montante couldn't be there. There needs to be more brain power lifting up the show.
No.
That's why Montante is a once-a-month type of guy.
See, no, this is your elitism coming through again.
Big time.
Montante is smart. He's street smart. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. He's pop culture smart. He knows what's going on. But he's not going to be able to quote you Dickens, right? So okay, you won't be able to do that. But come on, he's very street smart, and he holds his own while he's in there. And when he doesn't, he's entertaining. So I think he's definitely, like as
Speaking-
Menor says, if he can figure it out from a work aspect to be in Boston one couple of days a month, during a week for a business trip, and he goes into the studio once a month, that would be great.
So speaking of Montante, sportsbettingdime.com, which obviously sounds like a really reputable website. So shout out once again, Suburban Tug Time, for sending this to us. They just listed the odds for Tom Brady's next girlfriend, and the number one, the odds-on favorite at plus 1,300 is Taylor Swift. Montante might actually be onto something with that line. His random guy might actually fucking know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, the guy, like I said, he's not going to be able to although he can calculate statistics, math, odds and chances, but he's not going to be able to keep up with Kirk when it comes to a book discussion. No, that's not it. But that's not what he's there for.
No,
I like him. I would like to see more of him. He'd anchor one of those open chairs during the month.
Yeah, I think
100%.
Once a month.
All right, Adam,
Menard,
please stay out of the chat.
Else?
Please stay out of the chat, Adam.
Menard,
Focus on the show.
Else?
Yes, I do. I've got a couple of things.
What's next?
Well, actually, one big thing. And this is an issue that I think is kind of gone unaddressed in the Minifan world, and it came to my attention last Friday night. Dava from Hull had a get together. Montante was there. And there was a couple of other guys, so there was 4 guys. And Montante said he wanted to get some dinner. David said, "Let's get dinner later. Don't worry about it." They're watching football, and then at one point, Dava gets up, walks out, meets the Uber driver, brings in his dinner, and just sits down with his 3 other friends, and he just starts eating by himself. It is now, Adam. I know you probably are on board with this.
No,
but, I think this is absolute. One of the most heinous acts in the Minifan world in a long time. We've had doxing, we've had people go after my cafe, we've had people, fired from their jobs, but this is maybe the lowest of the low. To stand between Montante and food is one thing, but to just show that kind of disregard for, fellow humans, let alone fellow Minifans.
So he said, no, let's not get food. And then
just ordered secretly on his phone.
Was he super drunk? Was he super drunk or super
Doesn't
high?
matter.
Nope.
It doesn't, but it can make it
excuses.
a little bit better if you have zero control over your faculties.
Yeah,
come on.
You've already got this.
Was he sober?
Lined up. You do this. No, he was sober.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
He was
I wouldn't.
absolutely sober.
No, Manners, I'm the complete opposite. I'm the rich kid who tried to buy friends so that people would like me and hang out with me. So I would order pizza for everyone and be like, "Hey guys, who wants to hang out? I got the good booze and the pizza."
So that's way more normal.
That is insane.
Yes.
No,
yes.
That's wildly inappropriate, wildly selfish, spectacularly terrible. Excuse me,
Ned. What would you do if someone did that? If, you're out with your buddies.
Take the food.
Yeah, right. You have to be like, okay,
what have you got? What's your sides?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't order
shareable food.
Are you saying if I was out with you 3 and you like, hey, does anybody want to order food? And you 2 said no, I would say, do you guys mind if I do?
Oh,
and
right.
If you guys said no, I really don't. Yeah, please don't. I'm like, okay, then I'll wait till later. What's the big deal?
Right, but if I said no and then ordered for myself at the same time,
yeah.
I mean, was it shareable food? Was it like wings or something that someone could then just grab and take for themselves also? Do you have this information, Manners?
Sorry?
Was it shareable food? What was the food he ordered?
I think it was non-shareable. It was just it was, I'm going to eat my dinner and you can all starve. And you've seen David, he obviously eats a lot, but I don't know. I just think a really, really stunning insight into a Minifan psychology. Have you seen on Twitter Kirk going off about is it Ben Volan who fell for
trolling Ben Volan?
Ooh.
So a stoolie has sent Ben Volan a tip about Mac Jones, I think, and I could get all the names wrong.
Yeah.
Forgive me, NFL fans. But and then Volan went to print with it without checking it.
Yep.
And this is just, this is like a gift from God dropping in Kirk's lap.
Yep.
And you think about the perfect timing. We've got Steve Robinson in on Friday.
Yep.
He is going to destroy the globe. He's already written something on the main wire, and I have on good authority that Ned Snark is a very strong supporter of the main wire.
It drops in my inbox every morning.
So true.
But
it does. I love it.
Yeah, so
don't deny that.
I get a bit sick of the globe bashing because I think Kirk's moved on and actually he's a more powerful media entity than the Globe is. But this is just a gift. I mean, you know, this is material for a week.
It's just funny how these guys, like, how many times does this have to happen? And forget just the Globe. It's happened in the Globe before and whatever, but it happens all the time to reporters. Who the fuck? I'm sorry. If you're a reporter and you get a DM from someone on Twitter, some random person who is telling you what their friend said, how do you fucking run with that?
Yeah.
How do you not, like, what am I missing here? That's just as crazy as Daver ordering for himself.
Because your agenda is to disparage the organization, which he's always done. He's from the Palm Beach Post. I mean, he's a Dolphin fan. So anytime he can go after the Patriots, he will. He doesn't have to name a source. He doesn't have to he can just say, I heard, or this was told to me. No source naming. What he did though is he fucked up and took it. He could actually make it up and not even attribute it to anyone. But the guy took pictures. But it's beautiful, beautiful.
I mean, how do you not cover your own ass? Forget anything else. Forget whether you're reporting bullshit and you don't care. How the fuck do you not, like, worry about your own self and care about your own reputation?
Because he knows there will be no repercussions.
I guess. I mean,
see EEI today. Menders, did you catch the clip Kirk dropped with the EEI? You know, saying, well, you know, the Globe is a very reputable paper. I mean, think what you want, but that's not a reputable move.
You know, Megan Ottolini had seen fucking what was that movie? What was the movie?
Spotlight.
About the Spotlight. Yeah, she'd seen Spotlight and thought she was a fucking expert on the Globe.
No, EEI is terrified of the Globe. Terrified.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Matters, are you excited about Steve coming? Oh, I want to hear your thoughts about Steve.
Could you isolate that?
I'm excited is a very strong word, but I think the Steve Snell experience has made me, you know, value people that can go on and string sentences together that make sense. And so Steve will be able to do that. So yeah, I think it'll be fine. You know, it'll be interesting. Last appearance I felt was a bit strange, like came in late and it was, I don't know, it didn't have a great vibe to it. It was fine, but I think this one will be a bit different. I think, you know, they've got over that initial Steve going back into the studio and so I think it'll be a good show.
Do you think
that was a swinging dick move if there ever was one?
Oh yeah.
You know, because he was always there at like 6 a.m. getting the studio ready, chatting up the Italian landlord downstairs. And now he goes, hey, I don't have to be there on time.
All of a sudden he's, you know, eating bacon and eggs and sipping, you know, champagne in the morning. I'll get there when I get there. Kirk and Carl can wait for me.
He's on a deadline now, you know, with the main wire. So
well, yeah. I mean, do you think that this is going to be now a regular main wire reporter joining the show regularly?
I think so, because if you're Steve and if you're serious about, you know, starting a blog and getting a few eyeballs on it, then go on a Barstool podcast and, you know, thousands of people are going to listen to it. And so, yeah, I think he will be part of the show. Kirk, someone sent me some audio or a clip that
I was going to ask you this. I know exactly where you're going. Yes. A
book being
Let him finish, Adam, for Christ's sake.
No, because he's right, and I'm excited because I was about to ask him about that.
Shut the fuck up. We've already killed 10 seconds. He was about to tell us, and you had
I was just going to. I haven't heard. There was just some audio that seemed to insinuate that maybe a book is being written about the case. Whether that's season 1 or season 2, I don't know, but something is going on with season 2. That I think. You know, they've done the dentist story. Dr. Dan's obviously filed, you know, some injunctions and lawsuits. I think there's a lot actually going on behind the scenes with that we don't know about. And I would say so much is going on that Kirk can't even talk about it. Like Kirk can talk about most things, but I think this is like, no, you really can't fucking talk about it. Like the lawyers have said to him, shut your fucking mouth. So, yeah, I think we could get a book on the case season 1 or 2. I think Steve and Kirk could be collaborating on that.
I think it would have to be 1. Why would Steve do anything with 1, 2?
Well, could Carl write a book?
No.
Say you decided to publish a book rather than release a podcast. You know,
I don't know. The way he said it, it was more. I mean, he said like something along the lines of, "I wish you spent more time with writing that book" or something. It seemed like it was about writing about case season 1. I mean that, or it was just a throwaway Howie Carline, but it really seemed like it was like they're writing about the case season 1, and it is.
Because I think
I'm all in.
I think I've gone on record and said that I think it's disgraceful the lack of attention that Barstool gave to Kirk and the case for the success. I mean, I said on my show, if you look at other podcasts around the world, there's one here, The Teacher's Pet, that it resulted in murder conviction that's been, front page. There's been articles in the paper literally every day about it for months.
Yeah.
There was the serial where they had Adnan Syed. They are reported heavily. Barstool have this huge platform. Some jokers, put out a few tweets when it happens, and then it just fucking floats away.
Right.
It should have been written about every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It should have been blanket coverage. But they're so fucking stupid in head office. They'd rather, blog about Jersey Jerry shitting his pants.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe, who knows, in that event too, maybe the pressure would have been applied to the local authorities, to connect him directly to Jennifer Fay, because they never did get to Jennifer Fay. They got somebody else in South Carolina. So it's fantastic. They solved one murder, or they brought a suspect to be arrested and to trial. But maybe you're right. If Barstool had promoted it more, perhaps Jennifer Fay's case would have gotten more of a spotlight, and maybe something would have broke. Don't know. You're 100% right.
The show deserved, the case deserved more credit for what it achieved.
Yep.
And I mean, you selfishly think about Barstool. I mean, it would have resulted in a lot of promotion for the show. You head into season 2, maybe you double, triple the audience because they've got that success behind them. So yeah, really disappointing. And I'm going to call out Erica Nardini, because I think this is a big picture issue. Why are you laughing at him? Why are you
Because you're
laughing?
calling Erica Nardini out on a YouTube show that is going to get 70 people to listen to it.
We got to be careful. It's also in the Kirk Minihane Network, so be careful.
Yeah, okay.
No, that is not an issue.
But I just don't think she should have let that happen. She'd spend less time on Token CEO and those fluffy bullshit interviews, and not how can that just fly under the radar, Ned?
She's brand.
One of your employees has helped solve a murder, and it's done.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
She's branding, but the issue I have is Kirk over his 3 years here now has risen to the top echelon. I mean, K Marco's gone. He's still posting blogs on underage girls in cheesecake, but it's Dan. It's who the other guy? He's number 4 there, I would say, maybe 5.
But is this the least surprising thing ever, Ned? Because 3 years ago, when he came into Barstool, we were saying
he's an outsider.
He's as talented as Dave. He's as talented as Big Cat. He's more talented than Kevin. He's more talented than most of them. But,
Yep. No, I agree. Yeah.
So it's not surprising to me. Maybe it's surprising to me how long it's taken the bigwigs at Barstool to realize how much content Kirk can drive. But he fucking saved the rough and rowdy for them.
And you guys saw the the clips with even the segment with Rico, with the negotiation at the end. Was Rico blowing up was predictable, right? Kirk playing the calm, cool middleman and watching everyone else kind of lose it, and then at the end Dave says skip and Kirk says skip back. I laughed out loud at that. I'm like, these two have chemistry and they should be doing a show, or Kirk should be on at least much more often on the New York shows than he is. Absolutely. He's being underutilized, but maybe he wants it that way.
But Kirk says it all the time also. He says, I don't ask for any attention. I don't want any attention. I want them to leave me alone. So you can't really have it both ways here. I agree with you as a Kirk fan, but as someone, just listening to the words Kirk says, he says, I don't want you to be paying attention to me. I want to be left alone. Let me do my thing. So then you can't complain when they do that. Now, I agree with you with everything you said, especially about Erica. I do think that it's crazy that she spends so much time on a podcast when she's the CEO of the company. But, again, this
30 seconds, Adam, wrap it up.
Barstool, when you're not there or when you're disliked by the core crowd of the young people because you're too mean, you're not going to get anything. Like you're gonna be ignored. It's just the way it
Thanks.
is.
Okay, good. Thanks for summarizing what Ned and I just said.
45
But,
seconds.
I mean, it's
Thank you.
fact.
No, thank you. Good. We needed someone to repeat it. I got a
Jesus
couple of
Christ.
topics before I leave because I got to go and do some work. And for those that are going, oh, he has
Good. Get the
time to
fuck
jump
outta
on
here.
All Aboard, but he can't do Minifandom. Actually, a recording was cancelled this morning with a client, so
There you go.
a window did open up. No, Adam will know. I messaged him at the last minute.
True.
I can jump on. Just two things. Firstly, Adam, every one of these shows, we get a little taste of what misery is going on in your life. So can you just sort of distill it down into sort of a succinct little package and just tell me what misery is going on in your life? Is your mother-in-law fucking with you? Is your wife withholding sex? Do your kids hate you?
No.
Does the rabbi fucking hate you as well? Give me some more stuff.
No, it's just the worst month of the year with all the Jewish holidays that just fucks everything up and fucks up schedules. But it's over now. Now we're in a good place. We're moving forward. It just ended. I'm back to
10 seconds
to reality. So no.
Okay, so nothing miserable. That's great. And
Nothing miserable.
I enjoyed the Jewish holidays because my kids got a lot of time off school, which meant more time up from me to not drive them to school. Anyway, I just want
traffic
to
is great too during the Jewish holiday, so thank you.
I have to go at one point. I brought it up on Minifan, and I probably want Ned's wisdom on this one. Maybe Adam's as well, but Ned, you probably heard Kirk last week talking about someone who sent him a DM about, check yourself in. And then he sort of Kirk then found out where the guy worked and sent him some messages back. And I reflected on that and thought, I have a lot of sympathy with Kirk because he goes struggles, but I actually think it was a pretty piss poor move. Like, Kirk has just got to accept he's going to get those messages, but it's a pretty scumbag move to start looking at where people work and stuff just over a comment. Thoughts?
Well, as a loyal Minifandom listener, I heard you cover this with Mayo. I'm not as harsh on the scumbag move as you point out, but I do think it must have caught him at that time of the morning when he wasn't fully functional and was the first thing he saw. What is that?
The fuck?
Sorry,
What
let's
is
keep
that?
talking.
Oh, there you go. So I just thought that it was a bit of a Murchison to him, but it's forgivable. He doesn't do it often, and it does hit him every once in a while. Remember, as a Red Sox fan, Pedro Martinez said he would accept the cheers, but he always heard the one boo, right? Thousands of people cheering, he'd hear that one guy booing. Kirk is like that to a great extent. So
this isn't.
Oh, that's 100% true. And I've interviewed podcasters who will get 100 5-star reviews on iTunes, and then there's one 1-star review that says Menace sucks his bored little ass or whatever, and then that's the only one you remember. But I just think though Kirk should step back in that situation and just let it go. Just block the guy, move on.
Yeah, but Menners, this isn't anything new though. I mean, how many times did it was much worse before when we would get the 40-minute shows in response, but when Kirk would say, I know that of the 100,000 people that are listening, there is 900, there is nine or whatever. It's like 1% of the people. Yeah, I can't think of math right now. That there's like it's one person that is being an asshole, but it drives him nuts. And that he did shows on doxing people, and I'm not saying it was bad. It was fine. It wasn't.
we go back to talking about Erica Nardini. Maybe that'll get us pulled off
But like,
faster than this.
No, this hasn't happened. This has happened before. You can't act surprised when there's precedent for Kirk to react that way.
Okay, well,
Once again, a nice summary of what we just said.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus
I just think this is where as my counsel or being zoomed in to talk with Kirk about this stuff would be really beneficial, because maybe then I could help Kirk a little bit work through this stuff. Yeah. But look, guys, have a great rest of the All Aboard show. I'm going to go and get into work. Thanks for having me on. Thanks to all the Minifandom listeners who sent messages. The show will be back better than ever. But glad you guys are coming to fill the void, fill the content breach. So can't wait for All Aboard.
Thanks for coming, Menners.
Menners, thanks a lot. You're always welcome. Stay strong. Thoughts and prayers.
Ned, what
that was great, wasn't it?
It was. You read the main wire. What were your thoughts on that article that Steve's going around promoting right now, the one about the teacher? With the audio and all that.
It's typical. New Gloucester is like in I want to say it's Cumberland County, so it's not too far from like Portland It is out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, but I mean, I just liked it because it's just a different voice. The Press Herald is all AP or writers' releases with an occasional op-ed.
Yeah, small town papers.
Excuse me. So it's just like very bland, and you know exactly where they're going to fall. It's always good to read both sides. So I'm glad for Steve. This is where he should be directing his energies. So
I agree, but I'm talking
100%.
about that article specifically in that video.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm curious what your take is. If your kid was in school and someone told them that your politics.
I would if boy, it's so different because back then when my kids were your age, when you're the age of one of my kids,
Right.
So 20 years ago we trusted the teachers that they weren't politicizing shit, right? So we didn't really pay attention. But if you cameras in school in classrooms solve these problems. If all the teachers had to be on their best behavior, but they're also protected by a union. And when I was on the finance committee of the town of Old Orchard Beach, we weren't even, as the finance committee who did the town budget, we weren't allowed to even look at the school budget. We weren't allowed. So only
the Board of Ed,
only the town council. That was it. So we're like, okay, with 50% of the budget gone, it was 50% was the school budget. And I don't mean capital expense. I meant salaries, the whole thing. So it's very close and they should open it up. I do think if to answer your question, if I had a kid today, I would go and have a serious discussion about what are you indoctrinating our kids? And if I didn't get a satisfactory answer, I'd pull them out and go. I can't go private because it's too expensive. Pull them out. You go homeschool. There are homeschool communities all over the country.
Yeah, and that's how you.
Someone who went to a freaking Hebrew school. Jesus Christ, Adam, shut the fuck
up. My kids and I went to a private school.
Yeah.
My kids went to go to private school
because you're rich.
Homeschool them. Jesus.
Because you're rich.
No, because I'm not a psychopath.
Because you're rich. Oh,
homeschool is fucking ridiculous. But I also think it was a bit of an overreaction.
Adam, stop. You have nothing to say.
Was an overreaction.
You have no dog in this fight, Adam. You grew up privileged. There's no way you've been homeschooled because you went to a freaking private school. I'm saying if you can't afford a private school, there are viable homeschool communities around today where your kid can get better educated on the basics, or even more than just the basics, but reading, writing, mathematics, science, and not get politicized. Please. I know you felt you're probably.
If you're surprised, first of all, that that the school is teaching your kids super liberal shit, then you're an idiot. Because
I just said, Adam, I'm not an idiot, and I said I'm well past
I know
child age, so I have no idea.
I was talking about
I can tell you right now, my kids said they didn't get hit with this until college.
Of course,
in Maine, in public school in Maine, back in the 2000s. They weren't teaching this.
Right. I'm talking about now.
I know, and I'm not talking about now.
Surprised. All I'm saying is if a fucking parent is surprised now, they're stupid. Jesus, can you listen to the fucking conversation? Can you hear what's going on? I said if a fucking parent is actually surprised by that video, they are fucking stupid because that is what is going on in schools right now. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ, Ned.
No, it's one of your topics. Go ahead.
That was it. We're done. That covered it. That's the show. That's our recap.
No, we have a lot more to cover. We've been gone a while.
What were
the other? I'm going to the other topics right now.
Those were all for the podcast, man.
No. Hold on.
Let's see what else you got.
Hold on, because I'm going back to where we talked about a lot of shit.
Good video.
So you added Steve at the end. See, no, absolutely not. No. We talked about Minifandom, Montante, Kraft's wedding response, Jewish holiday season, my hurricane experience. No, Kanye.
That was for the podcast, dude.
Let's do it now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Kanye's a psychopathic anti-Semitic.
That's weird. Did I send you the article too about?
No,
I won't do it. No, but that was very strange take, and I am still confused. Is it Ye as in Kanye, or is it Ye as in Yeezy? I actually thought it was Ye as in Yeezy because that was the last one, right?
I think it's got to be Ye, but
it's Ye now.
Listen, the guy's got so many mental issues. It's none of this is surprising.
He is borderline genius, but yeah, there's a.
I don't think he's borderline genius.
Oh, I think he's great. He's been great for 15 years at least. Yeah, no, he's good. If an old guy like me thinks he's talented, even though I don't like all the music,
talent is far from genius.
He's above that. He's above talent. He's genius.
In what way is he a near genius?
I just think the sound, the music he makes, and most of it's synthetic anyway, but I think it's fantastic. I don't think, no, I shouldn't say that. Let me backtrack a little bit. It's not all fantastic, but from what I've heard, it's pretty good. Better than Eminem. Remember Eminem was the genius for you 35-year-olds back in like 2002.
No one ever thought he was a genius.
Everyone's
a musician.
I think he's a genius.
Good artist. I mean,
right.
Good music does not equal genius.
It's better than good music. And I can't go Al Carano on you and tell you exactly why I think so, but you know when you hear it, as they said, they said on The Sopranos, a hit is a hit.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a lot of hits. He's got a lot of bangers, but I don't think he's a genius. He's been very, very mentally.
And if he came out the other
for many years,
genius. Yeah. And if he had come out the other way, pro-Israel and pro-Semitic, I guess.
I don't think that's a thing.
I think.
I'm pretty sure that's not a thing.
You'd feel differently, but no. What he said was not inexcusable, but Jesus Christ, shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily not true. I mean, anytime you've got a gathering, of powerful elites, the terminology is now mafia. It started, of course, with Italians, but it's always a mafia. The Velvet Mafia is a gay consortium. So saying a Jewish mafia isn't necessarily bad, but oh my God, the way he just went on about it, though, was like.
Well, also talking about attacking Jews and, blaming the Jews for his failed marriage, for his mental health, for everything.
Did he blame for Kim Kardashian?
Blame
Jews?
Yeah. No. This is like classic.
Well, we knew that wasn't going to work out anyway, right?
Yeah, but I mean, which ones ever do? But yeah, I mean that's what else is there to talk about with Kanye? Kanye is a fucking psychopathic anti-Semite. End of story.
Oh, but there we go. That's all it comes down to.
It's true.
Anti-Semite. That's all it comes down to.
That's what he fucking is. That's it. It does come down to that with him because that's what
call him not an idiot savant, but call him a savant then, but not an idiot savant. What's another expression?
He's a talented artist.
Yeah, he's more than that.
But he's not a genius.
But you're right. He's got the anti-Semitic streak, it seems, underlying.
Yeah. Yep.
But now you've defined him by that. So now that's it for him. He's now defined through his anti-Semitism.
I mean,
what if he apologizes? Would you forgive him?
I mean, first of all, I don't think my forgiveness or my view on
Kanye would you forgive him? Yes or no? Answer the question.
I don't think of it as like a forgiving thing because like I'm never going to interact with him. It would be like,
that's true.
If you were to say something, I would forgive you. If someone who I will never meet or ever involve myself with is going to apologize, chances are A, I won't believe it and that it was pushed by a publicist, but B, what does it mean to forget? Like, what does my forgiveness matter?
I don't know. Just thought I'd ask.
Right? Yeah.
You're right.
I mean,
it's going nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
So hey, how about your president releasing all that oil out, from our strategic reserves?
My president, not yours.
What a great idea. He did. Yeah. And by the way, how long ago were you offline without power after that storm? Those storms went through.
Like a day and a half, and then straight into holiday.
Adam, I'm telling you, you need to invest into a generator.
I know.
That's not the first time, right?
I know.
When we did the show,
we renovate that house, I'm gonna get it.
When we did the show with LK, there was a winter storm. You got knocked offline too, right?
Yeah, because my town has above ground wiring, and you know how that works. Anytime there's above ground and a wind blows a branch off, it's done.
You get one of those generators that can run your whole house and it automatically. The only problem is you have to. By the way, do you have natural gas? Do you have gas lines?
Yeah, so, no. I did this at my old house. I had a gas line, all house generator. When I bought the house I live in now, it didn't have one. And we know we want to do renovations eventually. So when we do, we'll add it then.
It was $20,000 when I was looking into it pre-COVID, but the waiting list was a year, so I'd said forget it. So it's probably $25,000 now, right? So
well, the biggest expense is putting in the gas line because the gas line there are a lot of restrictions connected to it. We have a gas line that's out already that was capped off that we could potentially be able to use. Otherwise, they'll have to dig out into the foundation because it has to be directly from the main line. Yeah. So that's what causes most of the expense. The actual generator itself, $8,000, $10,000. It's not that much for what it gives you. It's really just the work that goes into installing it.
Yeah, if you get the gas already installed, the line is actually cheap. It's, copper piping and how many feet you want it from the house. But no, you should look into that because it's been too many times without power, especially in the winter. In the summer, you can deal with it. But the winter, do you have a fireplace?
No.
So yeah,
I know.
A lot of new houses don't have fireplaces built into them either. So
I'm poor. What can I say?
So what else do you want to go on? What do you ask about?
Crumbs.
You want to ask me about Marco Rubio and Demings? Okay.
I don't know. It's fucking Florida. I figured you care about that shit.
Yeah, I don't care. Rubio doesn't care. I don't care about those. Yeah.
All right. Let's call it, Ned.
That's it. We're done. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for joining us. Follow us at allaboard_pod, at SnarkNed, at Adam and Jersey. We're gonna put this up on the on our RSS feed as well.
Thanks to Dave Cullinane for letting
Thank
us.
you, Cully, for giving us this access. And yeah, we'll try to do better next time. Thank you, Manners, for joining.